Hello folks, this is Mike, and this is a video in response to Chris Propfe, Musically Obsessed, and Chris has come out with another great thread. Chris comes out with these really good ideas, and it's a very simple one. It's just spell the word vinyl with artists' initials, names, or albums, and I've gone for 5 artists, but it's just spell vinyl, V.I.N.Y.L. So my first one is UK band The Vapors, and this is their debut album from 1980. The Vapors were a post-punk / new wave, probably more post-punk, similar to the Jam. You've got that great kind of Rickenbacker sort of guitar sound. I don't know if he played a Rickenbacker actually, but it's very much like the Jam. You've got a bit of Bruce Foxton sounding bass as well, but a great sound and a great album, great band in its own right, actually. The big single off this one is Turning Japanese, which got to number 3 in the UK. Interestingly enough, so nuclear days, so nuclear, that's what it's a play on words, it's a pun, and you can see a mushroom cloud over London and that kind of thing, a nuclear sign there. But really good album actually. So my V, The Vapors. So my I had quite a few I's actually. I was quite surprised when I looked for it. But it's the album playing in the background at the moment. Gregory Alan Isakov album, This Empty Northern Hemisphere. I'm sure it's pronounced Isakov. I could be wrong. Apologise if I am. This is an album I got several years ago now. It's from 2009, and it's his 4th album. And This Empty Northern Hemisphere, and it's kind of it's indie folk. I mean, it's just classic singer-songwriter folk, and this is such a crowded, I apologise for the glare, it's such a crowded space. You need something a bit different to pull yourselves out of the crowds. And with Gregory Isakov, his voice I think is really good. It's mellow, as you can hear. The songs are strong. It's a really lovely album to listen to. He came from South Africa originally, but I think he lives in Colorado now. But when you listen to this, you think of Leonard Cohen, and one of Leonard Cohen's song is covered actually. One of Us Cannot Be Wrong. But you also think of a bit of Springsteen when there's harmonica, Damien Rice, Irish musician. There's loads of kind of artists you hear, and that's not a criticism. It's a beautiful album actually. And thanks Chris, because I haven't heard this for a few years, and doing this thread I pulled it out and I played it several times today, and it's absolutely really good album. Fantastic, recommend this one. My N is really important album to me, which I'm going to do a video about shortly in detail. I'm going to review it and review a box because they're going to reissue the box set, but it's Neutral Milk Hotel, and this is from 1998, their 2nd album. Indie rock, indie folk, psych folk, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. This is a really important album, and superb. And I say I'm going to be speaking in detail about this one, but this is for me this is a very important album, very special actually. And yeah, that's all I should say at the moment. My Y is the letter I struggle with most actually, and with vinyl and with CDs I've only got 2 artists, which I was quite surprised. Yes, of course, and the other one really obvious again, it's Neil Young. This is After the Gold Rush. I shan't say much about this one because everybody knows about this album. So many just absolutely classic tracks on this, but it's just a very strong album from Neil Young. And yes, that's my Y, Neil Young. And my final one, Chris, is my L, and I had lots of L's to choose from. Was going to go Skinhead, but at the last moment, then a Skinhead, but at the last moment I chose Los Lobos, and By the Light of the Moon, which is their 3rd album, released in 1987, produced by T-Bone Burnett, so it's got to be fantastic. Such a good producer. I love David Hidalgo as a guitarist. I think he's just one of the best guitarists around. Absolutely superb. So as I say, this is their 3rd album, Los Lobos. So there we go, Chris. Vinyl as a thread. Okay, speak later, folks.